We back with another YouTube video, man. What if Sasuke and Naruto were brothers? A little interesting take. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
What would happen if Naruto and Sasuke were brothers? What if instead of becoming rivals, they were twins from birth as Uzumakis, growing up side by side? How different would the story of Naruto be? It starts the same way it always does, with the Night of the Nine Tails attack, with Konoha burning and Minato running out of time. In canon, one child is born and one decision is made. In this story, there are two children, and the decision is completely different. Naruto arrives first, loud from the very first second, already announcing himself to the world, before the world is ready to hear it.
Wait, hold on. People who be making, he got what? 2.64. But he got 2,000 subscribers. I got more subscribers than him. This is a really good video, man. Annie Facade. That's a really good vid, bro. Because he's doing a lot of edits right now. Remind me of Finzar a little bit.
Sasuke follows shortly after, quieter, already seeming to take stock of everything around him before deciding how to respond to it. They are opposites from the moment they exist. They are also immediately and completely brothers. Minato doesn't have long to process this before Tobi unleashes Kurama on the village. What follows is a calculation made in seconds under the worst possible pressure. Sealing the full 9 tails into one newborn is too dangerous. The chakra load could destroy the child before they ever have a chance to live with it. So Minato does something that nobody has ever attempted. He divides Kurama in half. Yin Kurama goes into Naruto, Yang Kurama goes into Sasuke. The sealing takes everything.
Hold on. Time out. I didn't even know he had a yin and yang off rip. He was just one being at first. And why he's saying it's too dangerous to seal into one if that really happened? I guess this is like hypothetical, but okay. Wait, so Sasuke wouldn't be an Uchiha though?
Minato has, and he dies protecting both his sons in the same moment. Kushina follows. Having Kurama forcibly extracted from her was always going to be fatal, and nothing about this night changes that outcome. 2 newborns are left in the wreckage of Konoha, each carrying half a monster, with nobody left to raise them. The third Hokage makes one firm decision in the chaos. The boys stay together. Whatever else happens, they are not separated. He arranges their upbringing personally, watches over them closely in their early years, and makes sure that Jiraiya is present whenever he cannot be. The village knows exactly what they are. The sons of the 4th Hokage, each carrying half of the 9 tails, and the village's feelings about this are complicated in the way that only Konoha can make complicated. Some people treat them with a forced respect that has Minato's name written all over it. Others keep their distance from 2 boys who carry something ancient and dangerous inside them. But the boys always have each other, and you have to understand how much that single fact changes everything about who they become. Naruto is loud, he is warm and chaotic, completely incapable of walking past someone who needs help without stopping. He makes friends everywhere he goes and takes every cold shoulder from the village personally, but never, not once, lets it stop him. He wants to become Hokage so badly it practically radiates off him, and his reason for it is simple and completely Naruto. He wants people to have to acknowledge him, and then he wants to use that position to make sure nobody in this village ever has to fight for acknowledgement the way he did. On the other side is Sasuke, quiet. He takes the village's complicated feelings about them and files it away as information rather than pain, deciding early that the only response to being underestimated is to become impossible to ignore. He is precise where Naruto is instinctive. He is patient where Naruto is immediate. They argue constantly about everything, in the specific way that only people who are completely safe with each other can argue. They train together every single day without being asked. Neither of them has ever spent a night truly alone in their lives, and both of them know, without ever saying it directly, that this is what saved them. The difference in their Kurama halves shaped them in ways they only partially understand. Naruto carries Yin Kurama, the half tied to willpower, spiritual energy, and the emotional core of the beast's power. His shadow clone numbers are absurd. His ability to read people's intent borders on supernatural. His chakra hits differently from everyone else's, warmer, more alive, like it's reaching towards something. Sasuke carries Yang Kurama, the half tied to raw physical power, life force, and stamina that's simple.
So, okay, the only problem with this is Sasuke's huge character development is the fact that he's from the Uchiha clan. So that burden, the pain, and his powers with the Sharingan. So if he don't got that, what's his power? Like, what is his draw? Naruto still got all of his stuff. Does Sasuke get shadow clones too? Like, what happens then? You know what I mean? Naruto comes from a certain bloodline too, so he got certain powers anyway.
He doesn't quit. He heals faster than he should. His physical output in a fight is staggering. His body operates at a baseline that makes other shinobi feel like they're running on half the fuel. Individually, both of them are already threatening by any reasonable measure. But when they fight together and their chakra starts to synchronize, when the 2 halves of the same beast begin to resonate, something happens that neither half is capable of producing alone. They discover this by accident during a training session that gets out of hand and leaves a crater in the training grounds large enough that the third has to explain it to 3 different departments. He keeps the explanation vague. He does not look surprised. At the academy, they are immediately set apart from everyone around them, in the specific way that people who have always had each other are set apart. Not lonely, but not quite fitting the normal social architecture of the class either. Naurto is louder about wanting acknowledgement. Saskue is quieter, but no less competitive. What they share is a total refusal to be dismissed, and the other students pick up on this quickly. Trying to come between them turns out to be a losing strategy. Nobody tries twice. The third, with Kakashi's agreement, makes a deliberate call to put them on separate teams. The reasoning is sound. If they always fight with each other as a crutch, they will never fully understand what they are individually capable of. They need to develop independently before they can truly operate as what they actually are together. Neither of them...
I don't like that either, though. I don't like that either, though, because Team 7 was iconic. Team 7 is like iconic teams. Iconic, dude. We can't break that up. And where's Itachi at that point? It's just so much. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this, man. I kind of like them being separate.
Takes this news gracefully. Naurto argues at full volume for an extended period of time. Saskue argues once quietly, with the specific tone that communicates more disapproval than Naruto's entire performance. Then they both adapt, because they are their parents' sons, and adapting is what their parents' sons do. They train together every night regardless of which team the calendar says they belong to. The Chunin exams arrive, and with them, the first public glimpse of what the brothers produce when circumstances force them back together. A situation in the forest of death, ambushed, separated from their respective teams, and facing a threat that neither of them can handle alone, brings Naurto and Saskue side by side for the first time in a real fight. What happens when their chakra begins to synchronize in the middle of combat is not something either of them planned. The resonance activates, the two Kurama halves reaching toward each other the way they were always reaching, and the combined output hits the surrounding area like a pressure wave. Their opponents scatter. The forest goes quiet. Naurto and Saskue look at each other in the aftermath with the specific expression of two people who just discovered something important and are going to have a very long conversation about it later. From the observation area, the third Hokage watches without comment. Jiraiya, standing beside him, says this quietly. Minato knew exactly what he was doing that night. The third agrees. After the exams, the brothers are approached by Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin and their father's old master. For Jiraiya, taking these two on is not just another training assignment. They are the sons of Minato, the student he loved like his own. And they are the split Jinchuriki of the most powerful...
And this is like nitpicking. Sasuke shouldn't be wearing that. Those are Uchiha clothes. He's not Uchiha, so he would not bear the crest. So he shouldn't be wearing that. Whatever.
Tail beast in existence. There is no one in the world he would rather guide, and no students who matter to him more. He takes both brothers on an extended training journey that lasts years. Out on the road, far from the village and its fears, the brothers come into their own.
So it just sounds like this is less that what if Sasuke and Naruto were brothers. It's more like what if Sasuke just was Naruto. That's kind of what this is like, you know?
Jiraiya teaches them to refine their raw talent into true mastery, drilling them in advanced techniques and pushing their chakra control to extremes. But the most important thing he does is guide them through confronting Kurama directly. One at a time, each brother enters his own seal and comes face to face with his half of the fox. This is where being split saves them. A single Jinchuriki has to wrestle the full 9 tails alone, has to stare down all of that hatred with nothing but their own will. The brothers face their halves knowing the other is right there, an anchor against the fox's manipulation. When Kurama's hatred reaches for Naruto, Sasuke's presence steadies him. When it claws at Saskue, Naruto pulls him back. The fox, divided in two, finds that it cannot turn either brother because neither of them is ever truly alone with it. By the end of the journey, they have done what no Jinchuriki in history has managed at their age. They have won the respect of the fox, achieved real control over their halves, and learned to merge their power into combined transformations that blur the line between two people and one overwhelming force. They return to Konoha as young men, and the boys the village once feared come home as something it is about to be very glad to have. There is one more thing Jiraiya gives them before the journey ends. He brings them to Mount Myoboku and has the toads teach them senjutsu, the art of drawing on the natural energy of the world. Learning sage mode is brutally difficult, and balancing that energy while already carrying half a tailed beast should by all logic be impossible. But the brothers have an advantage.
See, but that's the thing. They're just doing everything that Naruto did. They're not going through anything that Sasuke went through. The isolation, they should still mention the Uchiha because they're a part of the Leaf Village, and that was a really, really big deal. You know, I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit of a reach video, Andy Facade, but I don't know. I'm just saying it's a little bit of reach, but okay.
advantage no one
Yeah,
else
which is
has
them.
ever had. When one of them risks tipping too far and turning to stone, the other reaches out and steadies his balance, sharing the load between them. They master it in the same way they have mastered everything together, and in doing so, they discover a combined sage form unique to them alone. A synchronized state where both brothers enter sage mode at once, and their natural energy flows between them like their chakra does. It is a technique that exists nowhere else in the world, because it requires two people who trust each other completely, and they have never been two people like them. After the time skip, their respective Yonin instructors both file the same recommendation independently. These two should be allowed to operate together. The third signs off on it with
Also, this is also false lore, right? Because the thing about this, I know it's hypothetical. Yeah, I know it's hypothetical. Chat, don't kill me. But Kakashi was only one of their teacher, not both of them, because they both wasn't on Team 7. So where's the other person that was teaching him? Jiraiya was teaching them outside of that. You know what I mean?
much deliberation. What follows is the beginning of something that the shinobi world is not prepared for. Their first joint missions are standard enough. B-rank assignments, manageable stakes, nothing that requires what they showed in the forest. But word travels fast between villagers. Other nations begin receiving reports of a Konoha pair operating in tandem, one relentless and loud, the other quiet and precise, both carrying a chakra signature that experienced shinobi describe as wrong in a way they cannot immediately explain. The intelligence division coins it first in an internal report that was never supposed to leave the building. The nine-tailed duo. It leaks within a week. By the time it reaches the other great nations, it has already become the name everyone uses. And Naruto and Sasuke.
The nine-tailed duo do sound hard. I ain't gonna lie. W that. That's hard. W name.
They both hear it for the first time from a mission contact who assumes they already know. Naruto immediately decides he loves it. Sasuke says nothing, which means he also loves it. What makes them genuinely dangerous as a pair goes beyond the Kurama resonance.
That's hard. That's tough. What? Nine-tailed chakra unleashed form Sasuke? That's hard. But then still, where does he learn his swordplay? See, there's too many gaps in this, man. Any facade, W video, but you kind of reaching a little too hard. If you're gonna do this, you gotta change some of Sasuke's details, man. Cause we can't help but see Uchiha. I shouldn't look at him and think Uchiha physically. Put me in Naruto world with him as far as like Naruto's life, you know? Chain of clothes,
the way
bro.
their strengths have no overlap and no gap. Naruto hits problems from the front of everything he has, creating chaos and pressure and forcing reactions. Sasuke reads those reactions in real time and exploits every opening the chaos produces. Naruto's emotional intelligence tells him what an opponent is going to do before they consciously decide to do it. Sasuke's analytical precision tells him why they're going to do it and what it costs them. Together they process a battlefield in a way that no single shinobi can. And by the time most opponents understand what they're facing, it is already too late to adjust. The nine-tailed duo stops being a report classification and starts being the reason certain missions get declined by entire villages who decide the contract isn't worth it. Then pain comes to Konoha, and everything the duo has built gets tested in front of the whole world. Nagato's assault on the village is catastrophic in scale. 6 bodies, each with a different path of the Rinnegan, coordinated with a precision that makes them feel like one organism with 6 sets of hands. In canon, this fight is Naruto alone against something almost impossible. In this story, the brothers split the problem the moment they understand it. Naruto takes the direct approach, which is the only approach Naruto knows how to take. He goes straight at the 6 paths with shadow clones flooding the battlefield, keeping all 6 occupied simultaneously, drawing their attention and their techniques, and absorbing everything they throw at him with a stamina that comes from Yin Kurama and a refusal to stay down that comes from somewhere even deeper than that. He is loud and visible and everywhere at once, exactly the way a Naruto with unlimited chakra and no quit in him.
One, his chakra shouldn't be unlimited no more because it's in half, 1. And 2, the Rasengan should have with both of them. Which means Sasuke wouldn't have Chidori, which is also a really big lore of Sasuke.
Should be. Sasuke goes quiet. He circles the battlefield at speed, watching the way the 6 paths communicate, tracking the microsecond delays between one body receiving information and another responding to it. Pain's true strength is his coordination, the way 6 separate bodies function as one intelligence. Sasuke maps the network with the cold patience of someone who grew up processing everything before reacting, and then he starts cutting it apart, path by path, disrupting the timing, forcing individual paths to operate without full.
I'm also gonna say the way that Sasuke act didn't come from his own personality, bro. It came from his trauma that he dealt with his family. Itachi was always mild-mannered and chill. Sasuke looked up to Itachi, so he adopted that personality. Then he went to the trauma of the annihilation of his whole clan. Then Itachi turned out to be the one that killed everybody. So yeah, that's why he was so mellowed out and calm. Naruto was by himself from jump, so he was trying to figure out who he was and he's the one to be liked. They both should have been on that. Rowdy. Sasuke shouldn't be this calm. It don't make sense.
Network support, turning a 6-part machine into 6 separate and significantly less frightening problems. Naruto's chaos creates the opening. Sasuke's precision closes them permanently. By the time they face Nagato himself, the Konoha they're standing in is damaged. Pain took his toll before the brothers could stop the initial strike, and the village carries the scars of that. But Nagato, facing two Jinchuriki, whose resonating Kurama chakra is filling the air around them with something that feels like standing too close to a storm, understands something that he did not expect to understand today. He looks at what Minato created on the night of the Nine Tails attack. Not one vessel, but two. Not one half power, but two halves that becomes something unprecedented. And he makes his choice. Rene Rebirth. He gives his life to return what the assault took from the village, and he goes with eyes that look briefly like someone who found an answer he wasn't looking for. The brothers stand in the aftermath. The village is coming back. People are waking up, confused and then overwhelmed, looking around at each other and then at the two young men at the center of it all. Nobody has clean words for the moment. Naruto, who usually has too many words, has none. Sasuke put a hand on his shoulder and they just stand there in the quiet for a while, which is maybe the most Sasuke thing that has ever happened. After Pain, the Nine-Tailed duo are not a report classification anymore. They are a fact of the world, a thing that other nations and other powers factor into every strategic decision they make. The missions that come to them in the following years are the missions nobody else takes. Situations where the risk assessment requires their specific combination, where one half of the answer isn't sufficient and the whole pair is the only thing that works. One mission takes them deep into Akatsuki territory, tracking the remaining members in the months between Pain's defeat and the war. What they find is that the organization is fracturing without Nagato's central leadership. But the individuals left are still some of the most dangerous people alive. Itachi and Kisame, who, in this timeline, never had the Uchiha connection to Sasuke, encounter the brothers in a forest in the Land of Fire. It is one of the few fights where the duo genuinely earns every second of their reputation. Itachi's genjutsu is a problem that neither brother can solve alone. Naruto breaks it with Kurama's chakra, disrupting the technique mid-cast, while Sasuke reads Itachi's hand signs fast enough to anticipate the next cast.
Not true. You wouldn't be able to do that without his Sharingan. That's the issue with this. He don't got those powers without his Sharingan. He's Naruto's brother. Naruto can't do that.
Before it begins, Kisame's shark techniques and water jutsu create a suffocating environment that suits neither brother, until Naruto's shadow clone numbers turn the battlefield scale against Kisame entirely. The Akatsuki retreat. It is one of the first times in the organization's history that two members have chosen to disengage rather than escalate, and word of it reaches Tobi immediately. Tobi takes the brothers seriously from that point forward in a way he did not before. He accelerates his timeline. He cannot afford to let the Nine-Tails duo grow any further into what they are becoming. Naruto manages their growing reputation exactly the way you would expect. Loudly, wearing it like armor, using it to push the people around him to believe in themselves. Sasuke manages it exactly the way you would expect. Quietly, strategically, understanding the gap between what their reputation can do and what it cannot, and making sure Naruto never confuses the two. They argue about this all the time. They're also completely unbeatable as a unit, which both of them know and neither of them says out loud because saying it out loud feels like tempting something. Then the fourth Shinobi War arrives and the world finds out what completely unbeatable actually means. The scale of it is something no one is really ready for. An army of reanimated shinobi. The 10 tails loose. Madara Uchiha moving across the battlefield like a natural disaster, wearing a human face. The allied forces hold for as long as they can, but holding is not the same as winning. And everyone out there feels that difference. You can see it in the faces around them, in the way exhaustion settles in after fighting too long against something that never seems to slow down. The brothers don't fight like soldiers. They treat the war like a set of problems and they move through it, solving them faster than the commanders can react. Naruto is everywhere at once. Shadow clones covering ground that would take entire units. His yin Kurama chakra spreading outward in a way people can actually feel. A warmth in the air that tells them something powerful is standing between them and what's coming. It steadies them. Morale rises anywhere Naruto shows up. And in a war like this, that matters more than most people realize. Sasuke is different, controlled, exact, always showing up right where things are about to go wrong. Always just ahead of it. His yang Kurama keeps him going long past the point where people would burn out, letting him read attacks and shut them down before they fully happen. Where Naruto makes people feel like they might survive, Sasuke makes the enemy feel like they've already been figured out.
Without the Uchiha blood, Madara would have killed both of them. Can't front. What?
Then Madara reaches his final form, and everything shifts. The allied forces start to break almost immediately. The complete body Susanoo alone is enough to drop shinobi to their knees, and nothing the commanders try even slows him down. The brothers step in together. Naruto hits his head on with everything he has, forcing Madara to react instead of control the fight. Sasuke comes in from the side, not trying to overpower the Susanoo, but breaking it down piece by piece, disrupting the chakra holding it together, so Madara has to actively maintain it. When Madara brings out limbo clones and truth-seeking balls, Naruto senses what can can't be seen, and Saskue handles what can't be predicted. They're not just surviving him, they're figuring him out, and for the first time in a long time, Madara realizes it. When the Susanoo towers to full height and the pressure alone starts cracking the ground, the brothers glance at each other and stop holding back. Yin and Yang connect, reaching across the space between them. The full 9 tails forming between two people for the first time since it was sealed. Gold and crimson twisting together into everything new. Even Madara pauses. Naruto drives a Rasengan into the armor with everything that Lichen can produce, and it breaks. Sasuke catches the opening before it can close and forces it wider. Eventually, Naruto and Sasuke come out victorious against Madara, but just barely. It isn't clean, just the last bit of strength they have left. When Madara falls, Naruto goes down right after him, and Sasuke only stays up for a second longer before collapsing too. When the war is over, both of them are put forward for Hokage. Naruto wants it, which surprises nobody. Sasuke is asked and takes a long pause before answering, not because he is uncertain, but because he is choosing his words with care, which is the Sasuke version of an emotional moment. He says Konoha needs Naruto specifically. He says the village needs someone who leads by making people feel like they matter, and that has always been Naruto's thing and never his.
But see, now that's another thing, right? This is the only problem with that. You take out Sasuke's whole arc of killing everybody. That's the only problem with that, chat. When he came through and he was a villain, he was going through their body and everybody in Konoha trying to find out what happened. People wanted that. You kind of just took that out. So I don't see how y'all beat Madara in that. Y'all don't beat Madara in that, personally. But if you want to watch another video, man, that's the end of that video. Click here or here. Smash that subscribe button. I'm going to be rocking with y'all. We're going to react to some more stuff, man. This is how I do as a custom rug maker. This is what I do on the side.